my team finds its way into the fan game, which I believe this is the first time it's happened. So
It is.
Shout out my team, as I legitimately cannot find. There it is. Texas A&M, undefeated still, goes on the road to Fayetteville, something they've not done in a while, considering this game typically is played in Jerry World in Dallas or Arlington, technically. But yeah, they go to Fayetteville to play Arkansas, where they are 7.5-point favorites. This game will kick off at 2:30, though, to note, bad rainstorms in the area, right around 2. Pretty unpredictable radar, so nothing could come of it, or it could be, bad thunderstorms. So this game may not kick off at 2:30. It could be more like 4 or 5, which could really tilt the outcome of this game as well.
Yeah, they haven't played in Fayetteville since September 28th of 2013.
Yeah.
Wow.
The
Which was y'all's second year in the SEC.
Quarterback of that game was none other than the young Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. Shout out Johnny.
They won 45-43. Texas A&M, or 45-33. Texas A&M won. Then the last 10 years, or the last 10 matchups at least, have been
Was
in
he the
Arlington.
young Johnny? Wasn't he a redshirt sophomore at that point?
Yeah,
He was a redshirt sophomore, but he was a lot younger then than he is now.
Yeah, that is true. Factual.
Jim and I called him young. I didn't call him young.
Oh, that's what Jim and I called him young? Interesting.
Yes. It's very all right. Jim and I. That's very strange.
Not
anyway,
the adjective I would have chosen.
What I'm looking for as an A&M fan in this game is just keep doing what you've been doing. To be honest, which is no matter who's on the other side, you just go play the game and you just grind. You just throw punch after punch after punch. You win games, no matter how the game script goes. Whether it's a Notre Dame game and the scores in the 40s, which I hope doesn't happen, but could happen in this game because Arkansas is the best offense we've faced since Notre Dame, considering the state offense was tired and beat up when we played them. I'm not trying to dog on y'all, but just situationally.
Nope, it's fair.
So our defense has improved, but maybe we end up in that kind of game. Or if somehow, some way, Arkansas decides to start playing defense and stops our run game, the loss of Le'Veon Moss, who's not going to play for at least a couple weeks, really hinders us. Can the defense, do what has been doing and step up and win us a defensive kind of game? So that's really just what I want to see from us. In terms of key points for Arkansas, you're going to have to run the ball successfully, which they have done pretty well, whether with their running backs or Taylon Green, who's had a very, very good season. Because you're going to do that to control the time of possession, help out your defense as much as possible. And then it's just a thing of the defense has to find a way to get a couple stops. They're not going to magically become a great unit, but you got to give the offense some sort of help. And so what does that look like? But what are y'all's thoughts on this game?
It'll be Petrino's first game
Sure.
in Razorback Stadium this year. He coached last week, of course, at Tennessee. I think the total 60.5. So this game more than likely profiles as one of those games that's potentially in the 40s. Arkansas, outside of the Notre Dame game, the lowest points they've scored this year is 31. 3 of those games being on the road. So this team should be able to score fine. I think even against Texas A&M, this feels like such a obvious letdown spot for the Aggies. And I was going to ask you if you disagree, and you agree, and I agree with myself, of course.
For many reasons, you have to go on the road. We've not gone on the road in a minute. It's our first road conference game. It's the return of Petrino and Fayetteville. This kind of feels like their last gasp, honestly, because it's Petrino's first game back. If they lose this one, it's kind of like, we're just going to wait till next year at this point. But I expect it to be pretty crowded, barring really, really bad weather. Maybe it'll scare some fans away. But yeah, stuff like that. The last time we were number 4 in the country, we went to Starkville, and y'all know how that game went. It did not go well for us.
Emmanuel Forbes pick 6? Or was that
No,
that was before?
Nick Fitzgerald's 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game, and then Trevor Knight breaks his hand. And the season derails from there.
How high were y'all when y'all lost to App State? Like 6?
5th, I believe.
5th, okay.
I believe we were 5th when we lost to App State. So, yeah, we've not been this high since the fateful trip to Starkville.
Cool.
So there's just a lot of reasons to not love this spot for us. But there's also a lot of reasons to trust that we can continue doing what we're doing. Thoughts on this game, Sanders?
I think the weather, if the weather's bad, that helps y'all out. Taylon Green and Omega Blake have been cooking. Taylon Green is a quarterback that we talked about. He was on JP's QB prospects list coming into the season.
Still is.
Yeah, as a very raw, talented guy, but hadn't shown the high end consistent play. from the more experienced quarterbacks. But I think that physically in the trenches, y'all are bigger than they are and outmatch them. And so I think if the rain turns this in, takes away kind of the shootout aspects of it, I think that benefits y'all. Because I don't expect Arkansas to be able to hang with y'all in like a 21-17 kind of game if balls are slippery and guys receivers are dropping passes and QBs are dropping snaps. Like, I think that benefits y'all.
Yeah, I do think it's a thing of, like, I get the weather could benefit us, but as the team that's a favorite, I don't want to add any extra variables into the game. Any way the game can change or get ugly, or we can get thrown off what we've been doing. Because I just talked about how we've been rolling and we come into every game just ready to punch. But if we have to sit in the locker room for 2 hours, like, how does that affect us? How does that affect our ability to come out ready to punch? Stuff like that. I'm going to address Finn in the chat because he said, let me ask you this with no disrespect. Who is Petrino and what has he done that a loaded Aggies team should be scared of Arkansas? I get that we're a loaded team and we are better than Arkansas, but this is college football. Stuff happens. Tucker Metland saying he had Arkansas as the third best team in the country. I don't think, different era. But he definitely still is a competent offensive mind, knows how to get the boys ready to play, knows how to put points up on teams. So there's reason to be worried, but then also there's a reason to spread 7.5 at the same time because we clearly are the better team. There's just insane week-to-week variance in college football. And kind of, you were talking about, wide receivers dropping passes, QBs dropping snaps. The last point I've not mentioned is I just think we also really need to protect the football in this game. Because for a defense that can't really get stops on its own, the last thing you want to do is have Marcel Reed drop back as he did against Florida and think he has a man and the safety shaded that side. He throws in double coverage, is picked in the end zone, or he drops a snap, or the running back fumbles. Don't give them stops. Make them earn their stops. That's kind of the last thing for me.
And I don't even think it's necessarily a valid point because it doesn't matter what they've shown you or what Petrino's shown you. In fact, last week they showed that they can be competitive with one of the best teams in the SEC in Tennessee on the road in a night game in Knoxville. But interim coaches or like the second head coach after someone's fired have won these kinds of games or at least been competitive in these kinds of games all the damn time. We think of like Greg Knox here. The Brian Harsin when he was fired.
Tim Skipper at UCLA right now.
Yes, already this year UCLA has beaten Penn State in a dramatic game at home. So I would completely disagree with that point.
Virginia Tech has picked up some wins, or at least a win since fire. Oh, was it the one win?
Yeah, I believe that.
Because we previewed it as a fan game of the week. It was them versus their FCS opponent.
They beat Wofford.
Yeah.
So
never mind. I couldn't remember who they played. I just remembered.
It breaks one or two ways with the interim coach, and it's a turnaround or it's more of the same, and we just don't know here yet.
Mike Elko is an interim head coach, and he gets hired to be the head coach fully. So
it's a road. It's a road SEC game also at the end of the day, and we talk all the time about how deep this league is and how hard it is to win in this league, and so I'm not just going to brush that away even though we are the better team in this matchup.
Yep.
I'm going to disagree with you again, Sven. I think Arkansas is going to be really competitive in this game regardless of how the weather goes, really in any way that this game goes. I think the letdown spot will get to A&M. If the weather holds off, I fully trust Arkansas to score points. Against A&M, I fully trust Taylon Green. Even if he's getting pressured, he's a better athlete than each and every one of your pass rushers. And that's going to be a problem if you guys can't keep contain.
I trust Cassius Howell, man.
Malik Washington has been running the ball really effectively. He ran for 130 last week against Tennessee. As long as he doesn't fumble, then Arkansas is in fine shape there. Shout out him for choking against Memphis. But I think it's going to be a full crowd. Everyone's going to be there and support Petrino's first game at home with Arkansas. It just feels like such a classic letdown spot. And when you're looking to pick the big-time upsets, you're looking for a quarterback that can be Superman. And if there's any damn quarterback in the country that can be Superman, it's Taylon Green for 3 hours. I think Arkansas is going to win
Okay.
Wow.
this weekend and defeat the Aggies. I think the cursed Aggie syndrome gets to them, and I think they're going to win. This is payback for you picking Florida.
All right, fair enough. We'll revisit on Sunday and see how it's gone.
I really like them plus 7.5 just because I love those kinds of spreads. I think Taylor Green can score with the Aggies, and I think the Le'Veon Moss injury hurts. Having only Reuben Owens to kind of rely on because of that. I think this is a shootout, and I think Arkansas has the ball last and goes out and scores last.
I see. Having the ball last. You had me until you said they had the ball last. Because if they have the ball last, they're going to fumble it or something.
Well, they were more passive in that game because they had the lead.
But I'm just saying that in 2 games where they've had the ball last with the chance to go win it, they have fumbled it both
New
times.
head coach.
New head coach. Okay.
Completely different scenario.
Yeah.
And they're at home this time compared to those 2 games against Memphis
And Ole Miss.
and T-Sun. So give me the Razorbacks to win and cover as my mandatory one big upset pick of the weekend.
Sure. I'll go next, I guess.
Is State not a bigger upset?
I wish.
It's a 9.5-point spread versus 7.5.
Doesn't
This would
feel
be a
that
bigger
way.
upset
Does
Okay.
not feel that way.
in terms of the national scale and the
4th-ranked team losing
National
on the road to a
implications.
2-4 Arkansas Razorbacks.
with an
Yeah.
interim head coach.
I agree. I was just bringing up the spread.
Yeah,
You go ahead and go next.
I do think this has a lot of makings to be a trap game, but also I have a ton of reason to believe in this A&M team, and so I am going to take us to cover in what will be a closer game. I'm not going to subscribe to Sven's 24-point win. As much as I would love that, that'd be sick. That'd be fantastic. Because also something else to note, the way this game has gone in its history is chaos games. We played an overtime game against them in 4 straight years or something crazy like that. We did win all 4, which is nuts.
Yeah.
We had the oink-doink game where they're down 2 and their kicker hits the top of the upright and it bounces back into the end zone. So we win that game. Just crazy stuff like that. But like I said, we've shown this year we're going to come into every game and just keep punching until we break through, either defensively or offensively, and it'll probably be offensively in this game. Yes, Le'Veon Moss is out. That hurts. But we have a healthier Reuben Owens. He was out last year. Jamarian Morrow learned the name. He's a true freshman that we're handing the ball off to, trying to go up 2 scores against Florida on 3rd down. We need a first down, and we're saying, you go get it for us because we trust you that much. So learn that name. And then Tucker, the pucker meter would go from a 4 to a 5 because I'm basically always going to start the game at a 4 no matter who we're playing, at least a 4. It could go higher. But it's kind of just how Mike Elko defenses go. We kind of get punched in the mouth early, and then we'll bounce back. We're susceptible to scripted drives, as most people is. Florida jumped all over us to start the game, and then we shut them down after the first quarter. So I'm not really too worried. I honestly expect them to score early, and then we go from there. So I wouldn't get too worried if they go up 7-0.
Yeah, and then I will pick Arkansas. It's 7.5. And what's the rule, JP? We've talked about it before. It's your rule that you taught us.
If a favorite is favored by 7.5 points, take the underdog because there are more possibilities for them to lose by 7 points than it is for them to lose by 8 or more points.